You're listening to an archived Cabral Concept podcast. After listening to this show, check out the most up-to-date podcasts available at stephencabral.com/podcasts or search directly on iTunes. And now, welcome to the Cabral Concept, where board-certified naturopath and integrative health practitioner Dr. Stephen Cabral shares how he was diagnosed at the age of 17 with a life-altering illness and given no hope for recovery. It was only after studying and traveling all over the world did he discover how to combine ancient Ayurvedic healing practices with state-of-the-art naturopathic and functional medicine to fully rebalance the body and re-energize it with life. It's time to discover how to get well, lose weight, and finally feel alive again. And now, here's your host, Dr. Stephen Cabral.
Looking forward, as always, to answering our community's house call questions each and every weekend on the Cabral HouseCalls. This is where we talk about all things wellness, weight loss, and anti-aging, and of course, everything in between. And we've got a bunch of great questions today. I would expect no different. I got to scan all these questions already. I got to see what's coming in. I think you're going to be excited to see that a lot of these are different. And the ones that aren't different, I'm going to be linking back to previous shows so that people will actually get about a 10, 15-minute talk on their specific topic rather than a 3 to 4 minute answer as well. So I think we're going to be able to help everybody out. But as always, if this isn't enough depth, enough information, I'm happy to do follow-ups on these questions as well. So the first question today is from Melissa. And what I would like to do is always let you know that if the question is long, I'm going to just kind of scan the question, give you the most pertinent pieces, and then you can read the whole question in full by going to today's podcast, which is just stephencabral.com/638. That is the place to go. That's where you're going to get to see all the questions in full on the show notes page. That's where if I talk about a lab or a previous podcast or a nutritional supplement or a food, I will link it up there on those show note pages. So today, just go to stephencabral.com/638. First question's from Melissa. She's asking, "Hi, Dr. Cabral. My question is this. I'm currently expecting my first baby early December. I'm choosing to have a natural birth at a birthing center, and I'm hoping that you can steer me in the right direction for postpartum recovery. Some background. After college, I didn't have a period for 5 years. I got married in 2013. I needed to address my lack of a cycle to start a family. My gynecologist told me, don't worry, we'll deal with it when you want to get pregnant. So she went on certain drugs. She started to eventually get her cycle. And now she's asking, given my history with hormone imbalance, and I'm wondering what blood tests I should run and when I should run them, 2 months postpartum, 6 months, etc., to get an idea of how my body is recovering and if I need to supplement. I might add that I will be exclusively breastfeeding. Prior to getting pregnant, I was taking KyoGreen for iodine. I was taking adaptogenic herbs such as ashwaganda, maca, and vitex for hormone regulation. I would love to hear your thoughts on going back on these and any suggestions you have." Okay, so I have answered all of these tips for you right at podcast number 522. So go to stephencabral.com/522. It is called How to Have a Happy and Healthy Pregnancy, and it's what to do pre, peri, and post-pregnancy. So it's a great show. I think you're going to get a lot of tips there that will help you to what to do, what foods to take, what I believe in for nutritional supplements. You can also find my healthy pregnancy protocol right online as well. We'll link up to that, of course. And what else can I recommend? Well, in terms of lab tests, after giving birth, I would certainly wait about 4 to 6 weeks for your hormones to start to regulate a little bit after pregnancy. And then I would run a overall blood test because I would want to look at anemia, and I would want to look at your MCV and MCT levels, and I would want to look at a lot of things going on within your body. And then you could also run, if you wanted to, again, this would be optional, the thyroid, hormone, adrenal lab as well. So hopefully that helps answer your question and also gives you a full podcast on all my recommendations. So check that out. All right, next question is from Jesse. "Hi, I've been taking diatomaceous earth daily to great success. I can't put my finger on it, but I feel it's helping with parasites, issues, and skin. 2-part question. 1, I want to go through a round of intestinal cleanse. Is it okay to add diatomaceous earth to the IF1 number 2 powder or drink for added benefit? Number 2, for a daily upon wake drink, can I mix diatomaceous earth with psyllium or psyllium husk pills? I want to keep taking DE every day. We'll start intestinal cleanse as soon as I hear. Thanks for everything as always." Okay. So Am I okay with diatomaceous earth? Yes. I'm okay with diatomaceous earth for a short-term protocol, not your entire life. Diatomaceous earth is essentially cleansing. Under a microscope, it looks like little glass shards, like little spikes. And this actually can pierce parasites, and it can pierce other types of bacteria that shouldn't be there as well. So that's helpful. But I would certainly not do that for the rest of your life. Now, could you do it for another week with the intestinal cleanse? Yes. So just follow our intestinal cleanse if you have it exactly as the instructions are laid out. And you can mix your diatomaceous earth if you'd like once a day or maybe twice a day with the powder that you're talking about. So you're going to use the intestinal formula 1 at night, anywhere between 2 and 5 capsules. It tells you how to do it on the directions. And then you'll use your powder exactly how it's laid out as well. We do it 4 times per day in between meals upon waking before bed as well. And then after you're done with that 1 week, then you're going to take 1 capsule of the Clean Gut Probiotic upon waking, and you're going to take 1 capsule of the Clean Gut Probiotic before bed. What that's going to do is it contains Saccharomyces boulardii as well as a nice array of probiotics that's going to help repopulate the gut with good bacteria and also continue to push out the negative yeast forms, the pathogenic yeast forms that we don't want. Jesse, hopefully that answers your question. Keep up the great work. Anonymous is up next. Hi, Dr. Cabral. I've been struggling with acne since April of this year. Cheeks, jawline, eyebrows, temples, forehead. I've referred back to all of your acne-related podcasts and have done the following. A 7 and 21-day detox. My acne cleared up and then came back within a week. A food sensitivity test, reacting moderately for cow's milk, yogurt, egg yolk, and candida. One of your health coaches had suggested that I try your candida protocol. Back on another 7-day detox. I've just completed your weight loss test to evaluate my hormones. No results yet. My naturopath has also prescribed me berberine complex and a few other formulas. I'm vegetarian who eats mostly vegan. I have limited intake of eggs since testing. I rarely consume dairy. I'm very frustrated and feel like I have very little control over my skin, and testing supplements are not inexpensive. Please help, and thank you for all you do. So, Anonymous, without a doubt, if you ran a lab through us, and I will also be reading your weight loss test when it comes through, which is essentially another name for the thyroid hormone adrenal test, which I will link up in today's show notes as well. So I'll be the one reading that test with my health coaches, and I will give you recommendations, and the health coaches will help implement those as well. Just keep in mind that my health coaches don't really need me a lot of the time to read that lab because they've done it so many times now and they know my recommendations. So again, you can always work with them individually too. Like I just want people to know that, meaning that they're going to get so much benefit from working with my 2 amazing health coaches, Julia and Caitlin. And so I would definitely take advantage of their knowledge as well. Ask lots of questions. You can do a call with them if you find that works for you. And of course, when you run a lab, you automatically get a coaching call with them. So here's the thing. We can figure this out. And here's why. I always ask people with acne, has there ever been a point where your skin cleared up for a little bit? And your skin cleared up during the 7 and 21-day detoxes, okay? So we know, that's why, this stuff, it's very, very helpful. I always tell people, have you done anything, even like a pharmaceutical drug that's worked? And if you can tell me that something's worked, I can reverse engineer it. I know why these things work because of how the human body reacts to whether it's an herb or a detox or a pharmaceutical drug. So, for example, if you have bad allergies and you take an antihistamine and then it's like you're completely better, well, I say, oh, well, this is a histamine issue, of course, right? But it's not even looked at that. Like a lot of people it's not an of course. Like people don't even think about that, which I don't know. Like, I don't know if that's just a different perspective. But so then I say, okay, what we need to do then if it's a histamine issue is lower your total histamine load, find out why your body's not producing a certain enzyme called diamine oxidase so we can start to produce that more. We can also find out why there'd be an improper conversion with methionine and a few other certain amino acids in the body as well. And we can fix that. And so the same with this, meaning that your body, acne is always what I call dirty blood. It's dirty blood. Your body is pushing out hormones, is pushing out toxicities, is pushing out food sensitivities, is pushing out poor protein digestion and all sorts of stuff through your skin. And you know that now because you did a detox and your skin cleared up. All right. So here's what we need to do. Yes, get the lab results back. And the detox can help regulate hormones. It helps regulate blood sugar. It helps regulate inflammation. So sometimes you don't even know why the detox worked because it works on so many different things. And that's why if people can do nothing else, my highest recommendation in the entire world, and the reason I made it, and the reason why I really sell it, believe me, like this, the Dr. Cabral Detox should sell for at least twice as much. If I was a normal nutritional supplement company, literally it would be twice as much money. That's just what people charge. But I said, I'm not going to be able to work with everyone in the world. And if I could help people get 80% or more of the results by not even meeting with me, by doing a 21-day Dr. Cabral Detox, and then moving on to a maintenance plan, Wouldn't that be better? And the answer was yes. Like, how can I help more people? That's the bottom line. That's the easiest way to do it. So my highest recommendation to you is do another 7 or 14 or 21 day detox. And then when you come off of it, only introduce one new variable at a time, which means keep going with a shake every morning, keep doing your vegan lunch, keep doing your shake mid-afternoon if you want, and then keep doing your paleo-style dinner, but then introduce one new variable of something that you want in your diet. Now, does that one thing, you can only do one new introduction every 3 days, did that one new thing that you introduced cause acne? That's how you're going to get your answer. Now, is it a kind of slower approach? Yes, but you get your answer. And so that's helpful. Or you can continue to look at what the labs tell you. So you can continue to look at what an organic acids test will tell you if there's high yeast overgrowth, meaning like if you haven't done an organic acid test, I know there's an expense to everything. Well, I mean, if your naturopath right now you're working with is putting you on berberine and things like that or candibactin, you should probably know if it's a yeast-based issue. You know, I mean, that's at least my opinion, but I would look into that and then we'll let you know if it's a hormone issue. When we get those labs back, I know that you're going to get the results. You've already seen the results. Now we just need to get them to stick. Okay, Tina is up next. Tina's asking, hi, I've been listening to your podcast for a while and really enjoy your objective and scientific take on functional medicine. I'm a 23-year-old female, been suffering from bad gut issues on and off for about 5 years, currently doing an internship, studying on the side, struggling to get through the day with all of my symptoms. My main problems are nausea, stomach aches, feeling tired, anxiety, mood issues, brain fog, just to add. I've been on a gluten-free paleo diet for several years and it did help. Okay, good. I've recently had the GI Effects stool panel done. I'm waiting for the results. I've been tested for Lyme. Recently came up for a few other bacteria with high MCV, markers that point to a B12 deficiency. My question is, what can I do to feel better? The rest of my lab results will take several weeks. Okay, I think I can help you with this. All right. So first things first. Well, I know I can help you with this, but I don't think it's going to be the answer that you want. So sometimes that happens. And again, like I'm only here to share with you the truth. So you want to get better today, and I understand that. But when we're talking about a gut-based issue, you can't fix it in a day. Now, what you can do, though, is you can begin to, so you wrote down, and I'm going to let people search the show notes if they want for these different types of bacteria. I've dealt with them in the past. It's not something that people really have to get into unless they're getting, deep into these types of stool panels. But the bottom line is you have bacterial overgrowth. So you can run the organic test or not. I really don't think that you need to. I would simply get started right away with the Candida and bacterial overgrowth protocol. Save your money. You already know that you have bacterial overgrowth. You most likely have yeast overgrowth to go along with it. You're not going to be able to continue to absorb vitamin B12 if your stomach acid is low. I would take a digestive enzyme because then you're going to actually be able to break down your food better, and then your gut bacteria will change by doing the Candida and bacterial overgrowth protocol. And then you're also going to get our food plan, which will help you feel better really like within 21 days because we're going to show you scientifically how to eliminate the exact foods that help bacteria and yeast to overgrow, which is exactly what you don't want right now. So you get all of that in one plan and it really works. And so you'll start to feel better really within a couple weeks, but the full work is being done over the course of 12 weeks. Amazing plan. You don't need to change your life. You just follow the plan. You stick to it. You still get to do one cheat meal per week after the first 21 days. I know you can do that. I know you'll get results. And then you get back on track. Enjoy your life again. That's really what it's all about. So hopefully that helps. And next up is Lisa. Lisa asks, hi, Dr. Cabral. Thank you so much for answering my questions. I truly appreciate it. My question today is about poop and a lack of energy. I'm a gluten-free vegan and eat only healthy foods. I do not even have a cheat meal. I've done your Candida and bacterial protocol. I also do your daily shake and your greens and your B complex. Although my digestion is better, I still wake up tired. I go to bed by 10, wake up at 5:30. Also, I can see undigested food in my stool like nuts and seeds and even quinoa. I do take digestive enzymes, HCl, and a gallbladder supplement as well. Should I be avoiding the foods that I see in my stool? What else can I do to get more energy? I always feel my best when I'm fasting, but it's difficult to always fast because I crave my healthy foods. Thank you. Okay. So I've got a couple things for you, Lisa. Now, I work with a lot of people who are like really gung-ho healthy like you are. Here's the problem. Sometimes we gung-ho people, and I learned this the hard way, make our meals too complicated. So we have this big salad, and then we're adding pine nuts, and then we're adding pumpkin seeds and a couple crushed up walnuts, and we have spinach, and we have arugula, and then we've got this nice little side of, chopped up beets. And then we've got diced sweet potatoes with the skins on. and we've got a little sauerkraut, a little broccoli. And the problem is this, all of that is really fantastic, but your body has to digest that. And if you are not in a state of good digestion, and if you're not, meaning like if you're not calm, if you're not relaxed and you're eating, that food's not going to be digested very well. Now, it doesn't mean that you have yeast overgrowth, and it doesn't mean you have bacterial overgrowth. It can just mean that you have a weakened digestive system. In Ayurveda, they call it low Agni. So the low Agni doesn't allow you to break down your foods as well, which means you can't absorb all of these good nutrients. And if you can't absorb the nutrients, if you can't absorb the minerals, you are not going to be able to extract the nutrition from your food. So the reason why I know it's this is because you feel best when you're fasting. So what's happening is, and a lot of people don't realize this, and I talk about it quite a bit, is that 30% of all of your energy, 1/3 of your day's energy goes to digestion. That's why people feel great when they fast. Doesn't mean fasting is the best thing for you. I do agree that a 12-hour overnight fast and sometimes a day fast can be absolutely fantastic. But the reason why people sometimes feel good when they're fasting is because their cortisol levels go up, or they're not using all that energy for digestion. So, Lisa, in the short term, what you're going to do is create easier to digest meals. A smoothie for breakfast, maybe a little bit of oatmeal with blueberries and some raw, a little raw honey or something like that if you want for a little sweetener. And it can still be very, very easy to digest. Then for lunch, try cooked vegetables. Okay, that will help tremendously. Try some hummus instead of raw beans or raw chickpeas. And then at night, maybe you have a little bit of more of a challenging meal, although it goes against Ayurveda. But the only reason, because at night, we get to rest usually. That's the only reason I make that recommendation. If you get to lie down and have a little siesta after lunch, then good for you. Then that could be a complicated meal maybe. But for right now, you want to grind up your nuts and seeds to make them into a nut butter, or just skip them all completely. Easy to digest foods, mush foods, easy to digest. I know you're going to start to get your energy back, and you're going to start to absorb then more vitamins and more minerals, which then in the long term give you long-term energy. All right, let's do one more question today because we've already gotten to a bunch, which I'm excited about. Matt's writing in, and he's writing, "Hello, Dr. Cabral. Just want to say thank you for your life-changing, accessible information through your podcast and site. I've tried to share the information with you present with my family and close loved ones, and will continue to spread the word. You're making a difference in people's lives." Matt, thank you so much for those kind words. I truly appreciate that, and I really appreciate you helping to spread the message, because that's what this is all about. My happiest days, like with this podcast, are completely around when I see people write in at like cabralsupportgroup.com, which is just our free support group online. If you want to go to it, it's cabralsupportgroup.com. It's just a free Facebook group, saying that they listened to it and that it made a difference in their life, that they made some changes, they're starting to move forward, that there's some hope, that people are moving forward. I love seeing when, there's more listens for the day. And I really, really enjoy that. And I'm just here to try to provide as much information as I can. And part of that is just I have a chip on my shoulder that this information wasn't available for me a little over 20 years ago, and which is, too bad. It was too bad for basically my parents, because I didn't want to watch them struggle to try to help me get well. It's never a good thing to be a parent and see your child sick and not know what to do. And there's so many families out there right now. And that's why, my heart goes out to all of those parents out there who have a sick child, because it's the worst thing in the world. You would trade in a moment your own health to get your child better. And I know my parents would have done the same thing, and there just simply wasn't any information. And it took me 3 years to even just find a doctor who would even look below the surface level blood work, which is, again, too bad. But I got better, and because of my struggle, now I get to share it with people. And so it all works out in the end. I really do believe that. You're writing in that your mom has colitis, and she has collagenous colitis, or collagenous colitis, and she also has lupus. So she has some autoimmune issues, okay? 2 autoimmune-based issues. She hasn't had a flare-up in a couple years, but the colitis affects her every day of her life. She lives a fairly healthy lifestyle, but we're confused about what steps to take to heal. I want to avoid any surgery if possible. I've heard a lot of similar symptoms of leaky gut, but collagenous colitis, as I understand, is the excess buildup of collagen in her gut, not allowing for proper absorption, among other things. I would love to hear your input, as my mom is approaching 50 this winter and would love to get her on the right track to healing. Thanks so much, Dr. Cabral. I'm 21, and so much of what you went through as a teenager resonates with me, as I've dealt with similar issues. Matt, thanks again for really writing in, and I'm glad that I'm able to help in any way possible. That's what it's all about. If you ever struggle one day and you figure out the answer, share that with someone else. It doesn't have to be on a podcast. Just share it with one other person. They'll share it with another person. And that's how we get these movements started. And really, all you have to do is affect the lives of just one person. Just one person. It doesn't have to be 1,000 people. It's just one person. By helping one person, you made an enormous difference in the world, because that one person then affects the lives of so many other people. And that's what we call the butterfly effect. And so anyway, I just think that what everyone's doing here in the community is phenomenal. So don't let a diagnosis such as collagenous colitis really get you or your mom down. Really what we're looking at is just think in life, when your body starts to build up more collagen, why is it doing that? Why is it building up this form of scar tissue or scarring or thickening? So when you think about that, when you build up a scar, when does this tissue get stronger, get tougher? Well, think about it. When you're working out and you're working outside, your hands get thicker. They get tougher because they're being broken down more. There's more abrasion, okay? So this is hopefully going to start to make sense. These are the correlations that I want everyone to begin to start making. Another thing is, too, when our bodies when they get a cut, when they get a nick, and like that, a little scab forms, okay? Inside the body, the scab is different. It's a little bit of hardened collagen, a little bit of thickness, okay? The same thing can happen with the arteries as well. It can be a little thickening of the arteries. This can be calcium-based deposits. So what we're looking at is inflammation over the years in the intestines, most likely, causing this thickening of the collagen. This can be helped in multiple ways, okay? It can be helped by first running an organic acids test and seeing if your mom has bacterial overgrowth or candida overgrowth. She most likely does. We're going to have to run the candida and bacterial overgrowth protocol. If you'd like to run a stool test, you're welcome to as well. But my first choice is the organic acids test. And then what I would do is I would also get her on more healing foods, lower saturated fats. She can still do some. She can do some saturated fats, and lower heavy proteins, okay? We want easy to digest foods. A lot of smoothies, easy to digest foods, not necessarily nuts and seeds. Actually, I guess I gave that a little earlier as well. Nuts and seeds can cause real abrasion, and quinoa as well, in people with any seeds, seed grains as well, in people with IBS, Crohn's colitis. And the reason is that it can cause inflammation in the gut, and we can't have any inflammation. So we really need to calm down the gut wall. Eventually, we'll use probiotics. Eventually, we'll use what's called the Healthy Gut Support powder. And the Healthy Gut Support actually contains glutamine, aloe vera, zinc carnosine. Your mom could actually start using this right away if she'd like. But there's one more thing I want her to do, and this comes with the Candida and Bacterial Overgrowth Protocol, the CBO protocol, and that's proteolytic enzymes. I want her to use these enzymes before, basically upon waking and before bed, away from food, to go in and start to digest some of that unneeded collagen, unneeded proteins that are building up. So again, this can't be construed as medical advice. I'm giving you what I would recommend if you were to see me in my practice. I hope that gets you started, Matt. 21 years old, you're an amazing guy. I really commend you. Your mom is lucky to have a son like you. Hopefully she's listening to this podcast as well. You guys seem like a great team. You'll be able to figure this out. Your mom's 50 years young. She's got a lot of life to live. She'll be able to figure this out. Remember, all autoimmune issues begin in the gut. Once you heal and seal that gut, please go back to previous podcasts on that. I'll be talking more about the gut protocol tomorrow. So yeah, please heal and seal that gut. You'll take care of it. You'll get well, reduce stress in your life. Thank you everyone for tuning into another Cabral Concept. Appreciate each and every one of your listens and shares. So if this episode could help anyone, please feel free to pass it along to them, and tune back in tomorrow where we answer more of our community's questions. Are you ready to heal yourself and then go on to heal others? If so, the Integrative Health Practitioner Institute can help you discover proven functional medicine protocols that blend the best of 7 different healing disciplines from around the world. I personally share with you the exact handouts and protocols I use in my private practice that enable people to get well, lose the weight, and live longer, stronger. I want to pass this information on to the next generation of health coaches, and that is exactly why I created IHP. We are the future of the health coaching industry, and the skills and knowledge you will learn will make you an in-demand certified health coach anywhere in the world. Although we have many medical professionals taking the IHP certifications, no experience is necessary, and half our members have no previous health certifications. At the Integrative Health Practitioner Institute, our motto is a health coach in every home. Our goal is that you take this knowledge and then share it with family, friends, loved ones, your community, or in a practice where you create a career you love and can be proud of. The global IHP community is filled with some of the most kind and caring people in the world, and we can't wait to welcome you into our world soon. For more information or to set up a discovery call with one of our IHP Health Coach graduates, simply head over to integrativehealthpractitioner.org.